All right, let's get started on today's update.
Very simply, we cannot have open migration from any country where we cannot safely and reliably vet and screen those who seek to enter the United States. That is why today I am signing a new executive order placing travel restrictions on countries including Yemen, Somalia, Haiti, Libya, and numerous others. The strength of the restrictions we're applying depends on the severity of the threat posed. The list is subject to revision based on whether material improvements are made, and likewise new countries can be added as threats emerge around the world. But we will not allow people to enter our country who wish to do us harm, and nothing will stop us from keeping America safe. Thank you very much.
Okay, so there was President Trump in his own words talking about this. Let's talk about it a little bit in the countries that are involved. So President Trump on Wednesday signed a proclamation barring travelers and immigrants from a dozen countries and restricting the entry of nationals of another 7 nations, citing concerns about national security. Mr. Trump's proclamation fully bans the entry of foreigners from Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Pretty much all of those make sense to me. Don't know who Chad is, never met him before. Afghanistan is an obvious one. Myanmar, always having unrest there. Haiti, I mean, they're eating the cats and the dogs. And then I remember I did a story on a Haitian warlord whose name was, I believe he was nicknamed Barbecue. And it's because he was roasting his enemies as they went from village to village, hurting and killing people, roasting them on an open fire. So, Barbecue over in Haiti, we don't want them there. We've already had problems with them, and that's been all over the news. Yemen, we don't need the Houthis here. And Sudan, with certain exemptions, Mr. Trump's order bans citizens of these countries seeking to come to the U.S. permanently as legal immigrants, as well as temporary visa holders like tourists. The president also partially suspended the entry of travelers and immigrants from Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. The part of this proclamation applies to all prospective immigrants from these countries with visas to settle in the U.S. permanently and certainly temporary visa holders. The ban is set to take effect at 12:01 a.m. on Monday, June 9th. Mr. Trump said President Trump, you assholes, said the sweeping entry restrictions were necessary to address concerns related to terrorism in the countries listed in the order, inadequate vetting of the affected nationals, and the lack of cooperation on deportations among some of the other nations. President Trump is fulfilling his promise to protect Americans from dangerous foreign actors that want to come to our country and cause us harm. These common sense restrictions are country specific and include places that lack proper vetting, exhibit high visa overstay rates, or fail to share identity and threat information. President Trump will always act in the best interests of the American people and their safety, White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson told CBS News. Mr. Trump's decree contains certain exemptions, including for U.S. permanent residents, the spouses and children of U.S. citizens who have clear and convincing evidence of identity and family relationship. Afghans who assisted American forces have special visas, diplomats, athletes, and dual nationals with a passport from a country not listed in his proclamation. I agree with that. All the interpreters and Afghans who helped us in Afghanistan when we were over there, I mean, they never should have been left behind. They had proven their loyalty in helping us when we were there. They should have been brought back with us, not left to the tender mercies of the Taliban. The announcement of the ban follows an attack Sunday in Boulder, Colorado, on marchers raising attention for Israel's taken hostage by Hamas. The suspect was identified by U.S. officials as an Egyptian national who had overstayed his tourist visa by like fucking 15 years, whatever it was. While Mr. Trump did not place any restrictions on the entry of Egyptian nationals, his proclamation directed officials to assess the adequacy of Egypt's vetting policies in light of recent events. In a video statement released by the White House Wednesday night, President Trump said the Boulder attack underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them. He said the list could be revised if countries make material improvements, and new countries could be added as threats emerge. President Trump's actions echo a series of travel bans issued during his first administration that initially targeted predominantly Muslim countries. Like those orders, his latest proclamation can be subject to lawsuits. You know, in his first term, any nations that seem to be producing terrorists right out of there that were causing concerns here. He put an initial travel ban on, and especially during COVID as well. So, and as far as the Boulder, Colorado terrorist guy, it looks like his whole family is being deported. It's I understand, the left is pissing and moaning about this, of course, because the left only defends criminals and terrorists. They don't defend actual law-abiding taxpayers. They don't like that. They like terrorists, criminals, and people that want to burn this country down, and people that want to hurt you and I, who are trying to live our lives and do the right thing. The left hates America. Democrats hate America. But I, for one, I'm happy that the family is being deported as well. They're all on temporary visas, and is it very likely that they knew what the father was going to do? That he had all this material. I guess an FBI raid at the house ended up finding additional material, more Molotov cocktails, another weapon. When arrested, he was already very clear that he wanted to hurt and kill Jews, and he was all for Palestine. So if the family knew he was doing all this and didn't turn him in, then they're complicit, right? When you have these school shooters that the kid ends up taking his dad's gun, goes to school and commits a shooting, the dad is just as responsible as the son, because he didn't, that dad or that parent, whoever ends up being in the situation, didn't secure their weapon and keep it safe as per, whatever laws you have, or even common sense if you don't have one. Just lock that up so you are the only one that has access to it. It's, the authorities have your fingerprints. You're the only one that's supposed to be accessing it. Other people aren't supposed to be doing it. So that parent is as responsible as the child is, certainly in my opinion. And in this case, a family is as responsible as he is. If you knew he had these materials, if you knew that he was going to take this action, if you cared about your family and being able to stay in the United States, your action should have been calling the authorities and letting them know my husband, father, is crazy, suicidal, and he's going to take a dangerous action against other people. They didn't do that. They were happy to la-di-da and go back and live their life, and daughter's going to college, and mom's chilling at home doing her thing, and they didn't care about it. So, bye-bye. If you're going to be a terrorist or a terrorist supporter, you can get out. You guys let me know what you think in the comments about this. Do you think, he's going to be jailed and obviously charged for his crimes. I don't think anyone died from the attack, but there were serious burns, and I think the moron even burned himself from one of them. But let me know what you think about the family being deported, if you think that's absolutely the right thing to do in this particular circumstance, and more updates coming real soon. Thanks.